There's questions that you should run through your mind. Did the state fool around with this roadway till the time is run out, that they can't get these guys that are under bond? Or what is going on here? Now they made a motion to make that closed. I'm fighting. And I'm in a fighting mood. Right here, I have, excuse me, it's going to take me a little longer than 5 minutes. Of course, I have a couple of 5 minutes coming that I wasn't here. Right here, I have a pack of papers, and they don't smell like bull. I have all accidents that were out at Perryville intersection. And not one accident is due to the design of the intersection with that dogleg. I have the accidents that are up at Bowmanstown, and we're all asphalt. Why? Any dummy, a kid, can figure out if you stop in a fast lane or passing lane, whichever you want to call it, you're going to get it if the guy don't use his head behind. Now, I don't know what you guys want to do here. I don't know which way you guys are going. Are you for it or not?
Herman, it's already done. They're closing it this week.
What?
It's already done. They're closing it this week. We have no control over it. It's their roadway.
No,
they've made the decision.
but you had some kind of notice. A month ago or so, 2 maybe. You had a notice, something about you, they wanted your input.
Yeah, several months ago they asked for the municipality's
Closing or
input.
not closing? Well, that still doesn't answer my question. Are you guys for it or not? Let me
We have
take
no
one by
control
one.
over it, whether we're for it or
Let
not.
me take one by one. Greenie, are you yes or no?
Herman, we're not gonna do this.
Huh?
Do you have anything else to bring up?
I can't hear.
We're gonna move on. Do you have anything else to bring up?
Do I have everything?
We have no control over Route 248. That's the state's.
You're involved, your road goes there. And you are letting the taxpayers down.
But the road's still open, you just can't make a left turn. The intersection's
And
still
you're
gonna
gonna
stay open.
do it. Well, Jesse, you were on the news tonight. Where were you sitting when you made that?
Right here,
Right there.
yeah,
How come nobody else could be here when you had a meeting here?
because these other gentlemen were busy.
I was busy, he called me this morning and I said I wasn't in the area. So I gave him Ron's number and I gave him Jesse's number. That's what happened.
You guys are wet. You guys are wet. You guys are letting the taxpayers down. And I hope the taxpayers realize this on election day.
Is there anything
Now,
else?
this is
Herman?
going a little bit too far. If a person can't talk a little bit. And I tell you what I told you tonight, I mean, and this here is gonna go on record, that you can't say, I didn't tell you so. Now I got one little more thing. You heard about recycling.
Well, what about recycling?
What happened that that building that was ripped down at the firehouse wasn't recycled?
I have no clue.
Huh?
That's their building, we don't own it. They applied for a demolition permit, right, Dwayne? And we don't have a control over whether they recycle the building or not.
Oh, you don't?
No, we don't have an ordinance for that.
You make me laugh. You make me laugh.
I guess somebody has to, Herman, right?
I guess I better quit there, because I'm getting nowhere with you guys.
We'll move on. Does anybody else have anything?
But you know what?
Yeah, sorry, Jerry.
You know what, Mr. Green? You... Just a minute. I got paper here, Lloyd. Just gotta get the right one.
Herman, we're gonna move on to Jerry.
I ain't snowing.
Jerry, you wanna,
Are you gonna paint white lines on the Carpenter Road or
How
not?
we
would you
ordered
like
the
this
signs
on your
here.
bumper?
did we have traffic paint?
Mr. Green, I'm talking yet.
Yes, Herman. We moved
How would you
on.
like that on your bumper?
It wouldn't fit.
This here is going through.
We had the public notice, that's what PennDOT contacted us for. They had like 60 days of review for comment. Nobody called PennDOT, nobody called us.
Listen, I talked to Nanovic. I asked them what the input was from you guys about closing the road. Mr. Nanovic said, yeah, well, what the state wants to do, they do anyhow. Now, he's full of prunes. Because...
Herman, we're gonna move on. We have no
Now,
control over
wait
the
a
state.
minute.
You're
I
past your 5 minutes.
I have the proof for this, and I'm gonna say it. Now, if you wanna listen to it or not,
Herman, we're not gonna
Little
listen.
Gap Road, I got fixed. I didn't have a lawyer involved or nothing. And now they should come and pat me on the back, because if they had to repair that road now, it would cost them 3 times what it cost them that time.
Jerry, you wanna?
Okay,
go on?
thank you for your time.
Are we gonna paint white lines on there?
Did
As
we?
soon as we get a can of paint.
Yeah, we're waiting for the
As
traffic.
soon as the
paint.
paint comes.
Okay,
They're ordered with the signs, so once they get delivered.
cause it's gonna snow soon.
We hope not.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything? If not, we'll move on.
When are they gonna open the bridge? Are they on schedule with that?
They're on schedule yet, or?
Supposed to be on the November timeframe, that's what I was told by the county.
Yeah, the reason they're not working now is they're fabricating the metal decking. But they should be out there in a week or two to get back to it.
Item number 8 under supervisor's business, we have trick or treat night, October 29th, 6 to 8 p.m.
That corresponds with what we
All right. That corresponds, I'll make a motion to approve trick or treat night as October 29th for those hours. Is there?
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Older?
Yes.
Item number B, open truck bids. Have one bid for the 96. Two. Tim Stroll is the first bid at $2,000. Second bid is from Lorenzo Sinicola from DBA LPC Electric.
Okay, Larry Sinicola.
Larry.
Well, it's Lorenzo, but he's Larry.
Okay. $1,226. So, the 2,000 and the 1,226. Is there any questions or? If not, I'll make a motion to award it to Tim Stroll for $2,000.
We might as well go home, we can't hear nothing anyhow.
I'll second
Mr. Mendez?
it.
Mr.
It's
Green?
on
Yes.
purpose.
Mr. Older?
Yes.
Item number C, Louise Kuhn resignation from the Palmer Library. She submitted a letter, letting us know that her last, as of September 17th, she was resigning. We did receive a letter from Robin Suarez expressing interest in the position. We didn't get any other interest correct, and we didn't advertise it, but they gave us a letter.
What they would shoot to is actually thank Louise for serving as long as she did.
Yeah, I agree. I'll make a motion to send a thank you letter to Louise Coombs for her service
And accept her resignation.
and accept her resignation.
I'll second that.
Jesse,
Mr.
second.
Mendez? Mr. Green?
Yes.
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 Now, I'll make a motion to have Robin Suarez serve as the representative if they're still willing to do so.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Item number D, adopt resolution for local taxes. What's the resolution for?
That was, we had adopted this resolution last year when Berkheimer took over, but because of the way the wording was, we needed to fill out Bonnie's name, and it shouldn't. It's actually for our,
Tax collection.
the EIT and the LST funds. So in order for me to contact them or do anything, I need to change it. So I'm gonna just fill it out as secretary treasurer so that we don't have a specific name there.
I say, I know we did this before.
Yeah, except we filled it.
As
because
part of
it-
a whole bunch of things you had to adopt at the time.
Yeah, so we put Connie's name because it seemed like you had to put the tax collector, and it's not, it's supposed to be, apparently me.
All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution with the secretary treasurer listed as the authorized representative. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Mendez? Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes. Your verbiage here that you prepared?
No,
No, that's
it's theirs,
from them.
it's theirs, but I'll look at it before.
Okay.
Item number E, reject AT&T plans to,
They didn't ask for another extension?
I did not receive anything from them, so
When
I'm
does it-
assuming that as of
The end of this month?
October 31st. So I don't know if you wanna approve it, reject it.
I don't remember what the review of it was anymore.
Did somebody,
Dated February 16th, 2011.
That's why I don't remember. And what was your recommendation at that point?
Well, there were 25 subdivision and land development ordinance comments, 1 zoning ordinance comment, and 9 general comments. So the plan was, it was very insufficient.
And did they ever submit anything to address any of those comments? They just kept asking for extensions?
Correct.
Well, the lady told me the last time that everything would be finalized by the end of that 3 months.
say that every time.
That's what she told me this last time. She's like, they were just waiting to
Now, if you reject
finalize.
the plan, they can in theory come back
Yeah. They can-
tomorrow with a new
With a
submission.
new plan, yeah. And the only difference is they start again, we have to send it out, and they, whatever the fees are, I don't know what the fees are, but it's not the end of the world.
So we just make a motion to have it rejected.
Reject it based upon the review letter of February 16, 2011.
I'll
As
make
long as
that motion.
nothing's received. What about like if they send something out
Tomorrow.
of paper? It's too late. No,
Well, I mean, even though it expires the 31st.
Well, unless you want to schedule a special meeting before the end of the month, which I'm pretty sure you don't want to.
Okay. Just checking.
all right, go ahead, Remy. Sorry.
I'll make that motion based on the verbiage from Attorney Nanovic to reject the AT&T plans.
I'll second.
Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
And you know, the letter to them has to actually say, here are the reasons for it.
I'll run that by you.
Okay, thanks.
Item number 6, Solicitor James Manavick.
Wait. I'll be attending, I'll be attending the Carbon County Solid Waste Authority Advisory Committee. Their meeting on October the 20th, 2014 at 1:30 p.m. So I'll be attending that.
Alright, is there anything else? Do you wanna go?
The only thing I had was regarding the saldo. I had received Dwayne's email at one point regarding the saldo and the zoning ordinance. And the question is, do you want to start the process of the adoption of it? It's up to you, but there's a separate process for adopting the saldo and the zoning ordinance. Both involve sending it to the planning commission, having public meetings on it, and then it goes to also goes to the county planning commission, and then we have a hearing on them. Those parts are similar, but there's certain things that need to be in the advertisements. And the question is, do you want to start that process?
Yeah, I think
And
we should.
I know you said you want to move it along, so.
Absolutely. I mean, all the work is done. It's time to put this thing out to the public and get their comments if there is any, and then have a formal adoption at the proper time. I mean, that's why we worked on it for a year and a half. Come to this point, well, whatever the time frame is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's time to get the ball rolling, and then just a matter of coordinating who's going to do what. I think now that Jim should go over it, but whoever has to submit everything, who typically submits it for when you do this process? That is it the zoning officer, the engineer, or the solicitor?
Well, I mean, it would occur to me that as the zoning officer being directly involved in the process, it's probably a good idea if I work with the solicitor and taking the lead to make sure that the adoption process comes to pass in accordance with Act 247 of 1968, and more specifically Section 607 and 608. And then for the saldo process, I would strongly suggest using Greg here to work with Jim to make sure that adoption process comes to pass.
And that's fine to start, because when you send it to the planning commissions, you can certainly do that, but there's the sections under 610 for the zoning ordinance, and there's also part of the saldo, I think it's 508 or 509 or whatever the section is, it has to be enacted period by the solicitor. And that's under the MPC, so if you want to start it doing that way, sending it, but as I said, it goes to our planning commission, there's a public meeting notice, it also goes to the county planning commission, both ordinances have to go to.
So I guess we should make you start the process and submit it to the planning commission and the county planning commission.
That's fine.
And you can work with Dwayne for the zoning and Greg.
And then Greg also, get into the saldo part of it.
So do we need to make a motion for this, or just?
I'll make a motion, we appoint Attorney Nanovic to lead us through the adoption of the new zoning regulations, and also the saldo regulations, with the assistance of zoning officer Deliker and engineer, department engineer.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes, the only thing I would add to that, it would keep us informed with a series of emails, I don't know. Yes, we'll do, so we can understand what the time frame and what's going on.
When's the next planning commission meeting?
December 4th.
December 4th. Okay. You don't have one in November now.
Because the Thanksgiving, we'd be meeting on Thanksgiving night.
Well, no, they still have one this month.
Well, you're not gonna do
You're not gonna do
anything
it by
in
the
October.
October meeting is too close, yeah. But December 4th, okay. Okay, thank you.
Take an action on some of your structure?
No, well, I was gonna bring up, I did get estimates. Did Allen Supply go out of business?
No, they're still there.
Every time I called the Allentown office and I called, is it Red Hill or something?
Really? Really, you can't get through?
It says their voicemail box is full, and I call the other number down south towards Philly, and it says it's disconnected.
You know, and I'm going in town, I have to pick up my daughter and grandkids at the airport tomorrow and drop them off. I'll stop on the way home, see if they're
Alright.
still there.
Yeah, I mean, I got estimates, and the problem with some of these, they're all different kinds.
Right, I've seen that.
That I actually typed up a tally sheet, this is the wrong one, and it's not finished.
Well, I would think we're months away from having to install them, right?
Yeah, I was just looking at the point that it's probably time that we should get some of the stuff that, just to make sure that we have the right stuff.
I think to play safe, I mean, reviewing all we have so far, we should set like a $2,000 reserve. That'll be more than enough in case there's incidental things we might.
Yeah, and that was the thing, the last estimate I got was from Weinstein Supply. They included the toilet seats and everything else that
But you don't.
they all have different stuff included that when it comes time, but we're definitely looking at that much money for a commercial toilet. Some of them are one-piece toilets, which aren't as easy to work with. When I added up the difference, Weinstein was the only one that quoted it both ways, it was $5 difference. It was like $1 toilet difference, so it really didn't make that much, but I think the process would be easier if you have the two-piece and that, and if something would break on it, it's easier to replace than having to buy a whole new toilet. But what I like to do is, when we get closer to buying the toilets, meeting with whoever gets it to see if we can trade in or try and sell the ones we have. I know there was one gentleman in the high rise interested, but I don't know if he still is or not.
We should have put a caveat on the bids for the old bucket truck. They have to buy the toilets too.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, right.
About the tank?
Well, Jesse did get an estimate for the I was getting more.
Yeah.
I called down a pipeline
Yeah,
to see what the
Lane.
price, Lane, and I talked to her, they just had a guy out, on his way home to look at it. I'm meeting with Ole on Friday, and there was, Suburban Propane, or Heller, not
How
Suburban.
about Tolino up there in Broadway?
I didn't call him at all, but we can give him a call. I didn't get prices from anybody other than, I think it was Pipeline, for what it's going at right now, I think she said like 168 a gallon.
Yeah, if you want your own tank, if we buy the tank, $1,000, I mean, 1,000 gallon one is a little over $2,000.
I was checking with Ron Borowski about the underground tanks, if that's an option. Because if we put the tanks in reverse, we're gonna be digging a line
Right.
for the copper pipe.
I think it only makes sense from an aesthetic standpoint as far as not having any issues with anybody monkeying with the tank if it's
Yeah.
buried. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
We have the equipment and we have the manpower, so the cost is negligible to install the tank. We're not paying anybody to install it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
I'm just
one
gonna
man's opinion.
check with, because he brought up about the tanks downstairs and
Yeah.
I think we have an old underground one that he brought up before that. I just wanted to double check, he was gonna give me a call tomorrow, well, he's gonna give me a call tomorrow, he called me earlier and I couldn't get to him. Some of the costs we're looking at, I mean, it's well over $5,000 for the propane and the fluid.
Right.
You have to get heat in that place before the winter.
Yeah, the propane, as soon as we get estimates that we should jump on that as soon as we can, and that way we can at least have heat in the building if we go to do the
I think
drywall.
on the 24th at our budget hearing, we need to pick a number and dedicate in the budget for completion of a lot of this work at the rec area. I mean, we sort of just pay as we went along, but I think it's to the point now we have to pick a number based on some of the estimates
Yeah.
we're getting and say, okay, here's what we need to finish it, and dedicate that amount and get the project done.
Yeah, I think the major cost that we're gonna be looking at is the final work. That's definitely it, and the drywall, the rough electric, we already have an estimate, and we've allotted that. The plumbing is free, the HVAC unit for that, that's all
That's paid
already
for.
paid for, it just needs to be connected. I wanna get Billy George out to put in the AC units on the side of the building, so we can get that tied in, and be done with it, and go from there. But we're definitely looking at a lot of money left to spend. And then, do we wanna go over the truck or? Yeah, I
do it in
think
budget.
we can talk about it more in budget on how we
Right.
can tackle it. We didn't get any estimates to fix the truck, right? The green one yet,
Not yet.
other than that one.
Yeah, but
Gone there, yeah.
No, I know that.
Well, just try them anyway, if we spend $500 and didn't get nothing.
Well, that was, because we kind of did that. All right, if not, Ron, do you have anything?
Yeah, I have a comment. This is for Mr. Bollinger. Are you awake?
Yet,
My opinion is on 248, I think, other than having a stacking lane, I think it's a good idea that they're closing it. That's my opinion. Because I almost got run over at that same intersection. It is a hazardous intersection. I'll give you your due. They should have a turning lane and a stacking lane, but they didn't do it. Chances of getting it probably are not. But to answer your question, I think it's a wise choice to close it. Somebody could get killed there.
if they don't get the third lane,
If they don't get the third lane, absolutely.
and there's room for the third lane,
Well,
because I tell you what, all you gotta do is come on the Fireline Road, from Fireline Hotel into the school, high school, and you just check what kind of shoulder they got there, the taxpayers. They got there to pull off the road if they get a flat tire. They can't, because the guardrail is on the right side coming in from the west, and the bank is on the left side going out.
But what does the flat tire have to do with 248? They would get the flat tire at that road anyway. The highway being closed doesn't cause the flat tire.
What's that?
Nothing, Herman.
that's all I have.
About a flat tire.
Is there any other public comment?
Yes, I'd like to
Hey,
ask,
Greenie, you know what? You're getting smarter by the minute, but now I'm gonna tell you something. I wasn't here. I know all about it. You put a guy down here a couple of weeks ago, month ago or two, I think 2 months ago. And that is Mr. Ed Ziegler. You asked him if he was living here, if he paid taxes here and all. And you know what? Do you remember this?
I think I made that.
Yeah, it wasn't me, it was
Okay.
Jim Nanovic.
What?
It was Jim Nanovic,
of prunes.
It was who?
our
Me,
solicitor.
me, I was the one who said it, Herman.
You did.
Yes, I did.
Well, you're not too old to put his face straightened up too.
Or too young.
Because you know what? That guy was here and he saved you guys a lot of money by talking what he's seen at other places and stuff. That guy was in the service. So was my baby brother. And you gotta grow up yet, because you're getting after by the minute.
Herman, we're moving on to other people.
You
Thank
are a cocky little son of a gun,
Bob, you wanna?
and don't thank me for it.
Mr. Nanovic, could you give me an update on the Acton Shaker Fire Company and the playground behind it?
What would you like to know?
Well-
There hasn't really been an update. All I can tell you is the Board of Supervisors have received letters from the fire company, and we have discussed it. Since it involves possible either acquisition of real estate or disposition of real estate, it's executive session matter, which is what we're probably gonna talk about after this meeting. So no,
Okay.
there's nothing further to tell you.
Nothing changed.
Because I know you were appointed to go with the other lawyer, their lawyer, you know, and you were in charge of that, and I just wanted to know if there was an update.
That's, the update is we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
So,
And then, you had something?
I was just gonna help him out. He was talking about a flat tire, meaning if you had a flat tire, you'd have a place to go.
Yeah.
I think you missed that point.
No, I got that, but either way, if you had a
Trying to
flat
help.
tire, you wouldn't. But- You wanna, another executive
yeah,
session?
move to executive session to discuss
Yes.
what we're gonna do with the playground, whether we're keeping it or not keeping it, or what we're gonna do with it. So, yeah.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session regarding the Aquashikla playground.
No, and let me just tell you this, I say, why don't you just make the motion that we adjourn and then go to executive session? And we're not gonna come back and make any decisions, so,
Alright, then I'll make a motion to adjourn and followed by that
executive session regarding the real estate.
I'll second.
Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.